Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
I am here with Monica, my new friend. She let me invade her space and bring all of you guys to come tour her garden. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, okay, I have to bug her until she allows me to come see this garden. And when I pulled up, I was not expecting what I saw, because I only had seen the backyard really. And I pulled up and I was like, oh my gosh, I saw it from like a block away. It's so stunning. So she has like a native garden. This is her front garden, which is full of oranges and yellows, and there's some sweet stories behind it. So I'm not gonna jabber anymore. We're gonna turn the camera around. I will make sure that I put all of the links to your socials. She's on Instagram. That's gonna be down below. Let's turn the camera around. I'll show you guys this because it is breathtaking what she has done in a suburban garden. Okay, you guys, here we go. This is her garden, and she has done the meandering paths that I want to do in my garden so badly. When you first bought this place 7 years ago, you said?
Yeah.
This was all grass.
Correct.
None of this was here.
That is right.
So tell me about this. This is a lot of roses up here, but you have even more in the backyard?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes. So up here I have the red.
You got reds and oranges.
And yellows.
This is so spectacular. Super gorgeous colors. This one's super wicked with the thorns though.
Yes, some of them are.
Some of them are. You said you have primarily David Austins.
That is correct, yes.
That's so nice.
Yep.
Tell me about this dogwood tree that you have here.
Well, it was a little twig when we planted it. My family made fun of me.
What did everyone say?
Don't run over it.
Yeah.
It's turning into a tree.
It's turning into a tree.
That's all.
And of course we missed the flowering of the dogwoods because we are coming in at summertime.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other stuff in bloom here. And so this is like, you've done these pathways in here because you need to be able to get in here.
That's right.
Weed and all of this.
Yep.
But the grass is your like primary pathways in all of the garden.
Yes, that's right. Yep. We have a grass path that leads us around.
It's so stunning. What is this butterfly bush that I see over here?
Oh, this one back here, yeah.
This is so sweet.
We planted that one last year.
That is so pretty. Do you guys deal with it spreading in here?
No.
It doesn't self-seed or anything for you guys?
No. Mm-mm.
That's so nice. And then you do a lot of like zinnias and like cut flowers also.
Yeah, I like to have cut flowers, yes.
This is so gorgeous. And how do you, I'm so stuck on this. So how are you deciding how you do these pathways? Or are you just like, this is what we're doing?
You mean, well, when we created this bed, it was kind of like we already had this existing kind of in the back, the stone wall.
You had the swoop
so
over there.
I kind of knew I wanted to do that. And we had added this one first, this one here along the side.
And then this was just
so this
all
just
grass?
Yeah, this was all grass. And I just wanted it to kind of, I wanted to use up as much space as possible.
Yeah.
Like get rid of as much grass as possible. So.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Let's hop over to the other side so we can see those, because those are so gorgeous.
The orange.
The orange. The tiger lilies, yeah. They're a lily of some sort. They're so pretty. These tiger lilies are so gorgeous. And you were saying that they're a much more like firm type, so they don't like...
They just feel
they feel very
firmer than a daylily.
So full. They're like doubles. They're almost like triples. They're so incredibly gorgeous. Are these the ones that you said were from family?
No, most of my daylilies are from my grandmother, and they are popped throughout the whole garden here. I have these daylilies.
They're really pretty too.
And
a very soft orange.
They come with me if we move house.
I dig some up and take them with you?
Me. Absolutely.
And you have a couple plants like that around the property.
I have quite a few, yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
My grandmother was a big gardener, so I had to take what I could. Or she shared very generously with
That's the best way to garden.
Grandchildren, so yeah.
That's so awesome. And then can we take a sneak peek at this over here that you've done?
Yes, my espalier.
Your espalier, your Belgian fence.
Yeah, we have a pear on both ends and in the middle.
And so the pear goes up and lines the fence.
And
then one diagonal.
Yep. And then we have 2 apples in between the pear.
This is crazy. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trees
so
right here.
So there's 3 pear, 4 apples.
And these are like dwarf varieties. You said you spent a lot of time researching.
I did have to research basically to make sure they bloom at the same time so I get the pollination.
And then the math to figure this all out is so hard.
It took us a little bit.
It's so confusing. You're like, is that right? That doesn't sound right.
There's a lot of stepping back and analyzing if it
Honestly,
looks
that's kind of the best way to
not.
do it. We just did some espalier in our driveway, and that's the best way is like look back and like, that looks a little off. We miscalculated one of those squares. flowers.
Yeah.
And then you actually have apples forming. And you did this last year, so this is
That's
its
right.
second
The
year.
That's the Liberty apple that has.
That is so, so cool. I'm so jealous because I've got ones that are like 3 years old. Nothing. Not even one. And then this is your temporary use of this space.
Yeah.
And this is like just cut flowers is what you're doing.
For now, yeah, and I might do that again. I'm not sure. We'll see.
That's the best way to garden.
Year to year.
We'll see what happens. Okay, let's go back to the backyard because that is spectacular.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now
This
we're in the back.
is where your jaw just drops because you have like I think mastered cottage formal garden is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Cottage
We'll
formal
go with
because you
that.
have the formal boxwood, you have the structure, you have rose arches.
Yeah.
And then you have like zinnias and things just freely planted. And you're like, yeah, it just self-seeds.
It just does whatever it's going to do,
it's your
right?
formal cottage garden. Yeah. And it is so spectacular.
Well, thank you.
Okay, let's get into it. This potato vine, I just noticed this.
Yeah.
Is this climbing?
It is.
Or are you winding it?
Nope, that's what it's doing.
Is this
I've never seen it do
Is this
that
from Proven Winners?
No, I don't really know what it's from, but I dig up my sweet potatoes and wrap them like you would store
Like
dahlia
dahlias,
tubers,
yeah.
and pot them up, and this is what happened.
And
I
this
have
one
no
decided to
idea.
climb.
It's climbing up
So
our.
it's never done this before? This is
No, I've never seen it do
sweet.
that, but
So
I've never
it's
put it
mutated
there before
then,
either,
and
so
congratulations, you have a climbing sweet potato vine.
That's what's
That
happening.
is so cool. Okay, well, I might make you ship me some of your sweet potatoes because that is so interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I can see it's climbing in the back.
The arborvine
too,
is back there.
yeah.
There's a new variety that came out on the market, and it's a climbing sweet potato vine.
Oh.
And everyone has been asking for a climbing sweet potato vine
Okay.
for years, and you
Well,
casually grew one. This is how good of a gardener she is. She's like, I don't need anyone to cultivate anything for me. I got it.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, see, look, and then she has these formal touches of boxwoods that are like perfectly like manicured. Like, are you kidding me? Not close. These are like perfectly manicured boxwoods. It's so gorgeous. And so your entire property is also lined with arborvitaes.
Yes.
And some of them you can't see because then you
They're
decided to front plant those with more trees and then
A
plant
little more
those.
privacy.
This is crazy. So you are a suburban lot.
Yeah.
How big was the lot?
0.18 acres.
0.18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very small lot, but you have managed to make it not feel like a small lot. It's cozy. I mean, you come to these pathways and we can either go this way or we could go this way, and then you have a circle. I mean, we can literally go any way.
Right.
This isn't a garden that you come in and you see everything all at once.
That's kind of always the goal.
That is
And
the
as
goal.
the zinnias get taller,
Yeah.
it kind of hides what's behind it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, the tomatoes and everything, they kind of hide. So it's kind of fun because you don't know what's going to be
happening.
around the corner.
See, that's what I'm trying to get into with my garden, because my garden, you walk out the back door and you're like, yep, saw the entire garden. So I'm taking notes while I'm here.
Okay.
And then tell me about this, because you have all of these containers right
these
here.
potted perennials, yes, because I'm experimenting with growing perennials in pots for my, hopefully,
Because
have
you
a
just
little
got your
backyard
nursery license?
Yeah, because I have a
Which
nursery
is so
license,
exciting.
so-
And with that, you also sell
Cut flower garden kits in the
cut
spring.
flower garden kits in the spring locally.
Yes.
Which we will make sure that we also, if you're local, link your website
Yeah.
for people to register to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can buy, she starts all your zinnias and she'll come install them if you're local.
Yes.
And it's just so good. And like what the stories you were telling me was so amazing
Yeah,
too. I
it
love
is
that.
really nice.
That's
Like I
really
said,
cool.
we put one at our church. We
Yeah.
planted some cut flowers, and they cut those, and the pastors will take them when they visit shut-ins. And I just think that's a perfect way to use flowers.
That's the
I mean,
perfect
that's
way to
what
use.
they're for.
That is like the
to-
best use
Yeah.
for flowers.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your baptisia right here?
Well, here it is.
This is so gorgeous. I have been wanting to add baptisia for probably about like 2 years.
Okay.
I don't find easily out there.
Oh, okay.
It's not like something that's like just you can go to the store and find
Yeah.
baptisia. It's like
I
an
believe
order
it's
online.
a native around here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. What color are these?
Purple.
And then these are the seed pods, which
Yeah.
are actually really interesting too. I, from a distance, thought that I was
Those
like,
are
oh,
the
I was like, oh, is it purple? And then she's like, those are seed pods. I was like, oh, same thing. So pretty. And you have eucalyptus in here. Is that something that you're going to keep cut back for cut flowers?
I will, yeah. It overwintered. I didn't know that would work, and it did. So I'm just.
That's exciting.
I'm not sure.
What zone are you?
6A.
6A?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
It
shouldn't winter over.
It did.
Well, so now you know, and you could hill it up like you do a few other things.
Bit, yeah.
That's so fabulous.
So, yeah.
And then tell me about this right here.
This is Amsonia, and you can see here it's getting the seed pods too.
What color was it? Was it white,
It's kind
blue?
of a white with a little bit of a hint of blue.
That's so gorgeous.
It's like the little stars. And really, I like it now because it's nice for foliage, for for bouquets.
That's really
looks
smart.
really pretty.
How old is this one?
Oh, like 5 years maybe.
Okay, it's massive.
Yeah,
I was gonna say because mine's 2 years old and it's
Well, there's multiple plants.
That's good.
Here,
that's
so
good. So don't be too hard on myself.
No. And then in the fall, the yellow foliage is just
so
very
nice.
attractive.
Yeah, some fall interest. And then you got a red bud behind that.
Yep, that's taken a beating.
Has
with
it?
The storms and everything.
While I was here, the storms have been crazy. I had never experienced. We almost pulled over on the freeway. I was like, "What is happening?"
Well, after every storm, you're like, "Well, let's go see what made it. What made it through, and what didn't."
Fun.
You never know.
Yeah.
And then this is phlox from my grandmother. This plant, this is from her.
I love that story
and it's
so
really
much.
nice. This is great for pollinators. I think this is like a really old-fashioned phlox. I'm not really sure.
And you have these spread throughout a couple places in the garden, which
and
is really nice.
I've shared them with family too, so they have it.
That's so cool. And then like even these beds are still super deep too, which is so nice. And so you've got like clematis tucked in everywhere. That one's still blooming back there. You have all of these like little hidden
Well, and
secrets.
it's nice because in the spring, these leaves aren't here, so you can really see the clematis.
You are so smart in your garden. Do you
them.
know that?
No.
You are so smart in your garden. That's not things that I think about.
It's just an accident. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do things and then it works out.
When you're like, there's a hole there, we should plant something there.
That's right.
That's perfect. And then you have a ton of citrus in your garden also.
Like in here. Yep.
And you have to bring all of those in every winter.
Yep.
And you have one that's really big that you have fruit on.
Yeah.
That you also, that your son and husband bring in for you.
That's right. They can lift that. They've got the muscle.
I love that. Tell me about this sweet little thing. Yes.
Well, I've always wanted a pond, but we couldn't really put in a big one, or I just wasn't sure that's what I wanted to do. So I just did this, and we get a water lily in the spring, which is super fun. It's pink, hot pink.
Do you guys get frogs out here?
Have not yet. That was my dream.
That's the goal. It's frogs.
It hasn't happened yet.
We did ours because I didn't want to put a big one in, so we have one that's like probably about the same size. And the first like 2 years, no frogs.
This is only my second year, so maybe there's hope.
Year 3, you're gonna get frogs.
Okay, because that's kind of the goal. But we do get a lot of birds. Like
that's
tons of birds.
That's so nice.
Ever since we put this in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made a huge difference. I've noticed like it's really reduced the pest pressure because they're eating the bugs because they're coming to the backyard because they
want some water, and then they're grabbing a little snack of a bug or two.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about this massive touch of formality and your last season urn that you got.
Yeah, that was last season's.
So how did you do this?
Well, I bought plugs off Amazon, and they were probably a lot that big, maybe
another thing not to run over.
2 little branches. Yeah, definitely. I just planted those, and it only took a few years, and they're exactly
and this was
the way
super
I want them
affordable.
now. Oh yeah,
because you bought it as plugs.
Yes.
I did not know that you could buy plugs
I didn't
on
either
Amazon.
until I researched and was wanting to buy something, and I found them.
And then you have this urn that you got on discount because it was last season.
Yes.
Which if it's last season, I'll take 10. It's so pretty. So this is what I'm saying, you have this cottage and formal garden because then you've got 4 roses in here. And you deal with black spot pretty bad here.
Yeah,
so,
unfortunately.
So you'll
some
spray
varieties
copper occasionally?
Yes, like I've done it once maybe so far, but mostly I just pull off the leaves with black spot, which is why this is kind of bare now.
Yeah, which this is like such a wicked thorn one.
I have to just pull these off, and it gets kind of bare.
Yeah.
But it'll grow back. The leaves will grow back.
I can see new growth.
Yep, and then it'll be fine. So it's just something you have to deal with if you want to have the roses.
And if you're in a high humidity area like this, yeah. I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's
every
totally
spring,
worth it.
I'm so glad
I know you're saying earlier it's not worth it, and then you're like in the spring.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Let's meander that pathway. This is so.
This one?
So yeah. See that you have options. Is this your mint?
Yes, and I normally would cut it back, but as you can tell, I don't know if you can see it on video. There's
all the
tons
pollinators.
of pollinators here, and I just don't have the heart to cut it back right now because I mean, look at it. They're everywhere.
I have multiple plants that people are always like, why are you not cutting that back? It looks crazy. I'm like, well, the amount of pollinators that I see on it, I don't care if it looks crazy for a while. I'll let the pollinators, it's so worth it.
Right, and they're right here by the vegetable beds, so
where you
I
want
want them to pollinate my tomatoes.
Which your vegetable garden is doing so well.
It is doing well this year, yeah.
And then you have even more trees in this bed over here, and you have some massive, massive peonies. How old are those peonies?
Like 5, 6 years maybe?
And you said
like
whenever you move,
5 years?
those are going with you?
Oh yeah, I'm not waiting again. I had to wait a long
another
time
5
for
years.
blooms, so
Yes.
those are coming.
And that's another thing that you're going to be selling in your like local nursery.
Yeah, I have some
You've got some
peony
potted
plants.
peonies,
Yes,
which
because
is so
you can't
cool.
have a garden without peonies.
You cannot.
No.
I'm in zone 9 and they say you can't grow them in zone 9 and we can grow them.
You can.
I can grow them. I was like, that's one that I am trying because you cannot have a garden without peonies. And we grow them in full sun.
Oh, wow.
Which is even crazier because
Yeah.
like they should not be able to handle that at all.
So,
Tell me about your watermelon plant that your whole family loves.
well, they don't care for watermelon, but I love watermelon, so I had to plant some so that I could have, these are
You
the,
could have your
little-
own personal size
Yes.
watermelons.
so I've got several growing, so I'm glad about
Which is
that.
perfect. You only need like 5 or 6 just for you.
That's right.
And they're
it's for
personal
me.
sized watermelons. I love that. And then you have the Verbena bonariensis right here, which, I mean, you said the pollinators also absolutely love. Oh, there she goes. So you let this one also kind of self-seed, take
Yeah.
over, pull anything that gets a little too crazy.
That's right. Yep.
That's so nice. And then I asked you about this tree,
The ironwood.
ironwood.
Yep.
It's just
It's
such an
doing really
interesting
well.
like leaf structure, and they're kind of like the
very
new ones
hardy.
are fuzzy.
Yeah.
It's a very like
Firm.
it's a firm tree. It's
Yeah.
a like statement tree, but it's also very just nice. I mean, like a statement tree is the red bud.
The red bud. Yeah, this one's a nice one.
Do you know the variety?
It's Rising Sun.
Rising.
red bud.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's
I love
so pretty.
the leaf, the change of colors here
Yes. The gradients on
ombre.
it. It's so nice. And then more of the wall of our bovitas back here.
too. Yep.
Let's talk about these guys over here.
Oh, my columnal apple trees. When
How did this happen?
Well, I found out there was such a thing, and I thought I need to have it. So I got them and pulled out the arborvitae.
And pulled
over
out
there
3
and
arbs. Because
the
apples.
apples in.
And so these are the Colmar apples that I've talked about on my channel too. And you don't need any space for them because they only get like, they're supposed to get like only a foot wide. And like,
I think I'm supposed to like prune this, but I'm not
Yeah.
really sure how. So I haven't done anything yet.
you'll have to
I'll
let me
figure
know.
that out
You let
at
me
some
know because
point.
I want to find these for my garden. So you experiment with it and I'll check in. And you're getting fruit off of these too.
Yeah, I think that's the only tree this year so far.
How old are these Colmars?
I think this is their 3rd year.
That's
Maybe
great.
About their 3rd year.
Yeah. So that's about right for the fruit then.
So,
That's so nice though.
yeah.
Do you guys deal with rabbits here?
We do, but if you can see,
The
we
chicken
stapled
cloth?
chicken wire to the bottom of the fence and dug it into the ground.
Well, I saw that and that's why I asked it. Because
so
I was like,
we do not have a rabbit
so
problem
you don't have a
anymore.
rabbit problem.
Now, I do have a rabbit friend, and he lives in the front.
front yard.
But we coexist peacefully because
Good.
there's plenty of there.
There's plenty
If
enough
he
for him to
wants
have a little snack.
a little something, that's fine.
That's fine.
And it's not a problem really
I have
at
to
all.
just get this view.
Okay.
That is so gorgeous. I mean, so you have 3 arches here and 3 arches on the other
Yes,
side.
and it's the same
And the same roses?
roses.
Okay, so you have 6 roses, so 12 roses just right there. Do you know how many roses you have on the property?
I've counted it before. I think it's around 22.
It's a lot of
24,
roses
something like
on a
that.
small property. Have you
You
counted how
say
many?
so, but I think there's more room.
There's,
for
I
more
mean,
roses.
well, there's a rose there, another rose there. We could probably tuck one in, maybe right over there in front of the hosta.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I will find room. Every year, a rose shows up at our
Disappears.
door, and I'm
Good.
just like, well, I got to do something
Well,
with
I
it.
guess we'll find somewhere for it to go. That's perfect. So this is all veggies, these beds right here.
Yeah, those are all veggies. I pulled up strawberries in
Okay.
this one because they just weren't doing what I wanted them to do,
Mm-hmm.
so they're out.
And what is the plan for this?
I think I'm
Another
gonna put
story.
like some gooseberries, red currants, some kind of berries in here.
And why are we doing that?
Oh, because that's what they had where I was growing up.
The nostalgia. The nostalgia.
So I need to have those.
I love that. I love the like nostalgia of people's gardens and like
Yeah.
the stories of why they plant certain things.
Right.
It's just, I love that story so much. Okay, let's go back over this way now
way?
and show me these lilacs that you were telling me.
Oh, these, I think they're called Korean
Lilacs.
And they bloom in the spring, obviously, and they're super, super fragrant. When you just walk by,
That's all you smell. It hits you.
And it's so beautiful, and they're beautiful.
I've never heard of a Korean lilac. And then so you trim them, and this is a second flush of like growth.
Yeah, I had trimmed them once this year already, and
Yeah.
now they've grown up.
When did, so they
would get big, but I keep them kind of into the
tucked in,
ball
and that
shape.
doesn't affect any of the blooms or anything.
Hasn't so far.
Okay,
But
great.
again, I don't really know what I'm doing.
But then, and it's
I just
working.
do it.
It obviously is working. I mean, from the look of your garden, I'm gonna like say you're lying because I think you might know what you're doing.
Things,
You're not scared to try it.
and sometimes it works.
Good.
Actually,
good.
most times things do work, but occasionally things they don't.
Have
like
you-
this, I don't. This is the first year I'm trying this.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna do it again?
Well,
Because I hear mixed reviews on this.
I don't know yet because
It's a lot
We're
of
not
work
done
though,
yet.
isn't it? Because you got to come in, prune all the suckers off of this,
and I just
and then you have to twist it around.
It's okay. I mean,
Because
We'll
then you
see.
also have some in cages.
yes, but these are the ones that are the really big, the fat,
The like beef
big,
steaks
heavy
and
ones.
stuff.
So I just, like you can see back here, they're getting huge.
Oh my gosh. That's a big tomato.
So they need something
Yeah.
a little more sturdy.
And I love your plant stakes too that I'm seeing like tucked around the garden. All these like metal
I got
ones.
those off Amazon from I don't know, do they have like the craft?
Like
like
they have
the-
small sellers on
Yes,
Amazon.
it's
Yeah.
a small seller that makes those, and I just thought they were cool.
They're really, really cool. And then tell me about
My little-
citrus and seating area.
Yeah, this is just my little tropical
Your little
garden
tropical
area.
zone. So you have a banana,
Banana palm, and then
and then you have an
another-
actual palm tree back there
some
too.
kind of a palm.
Yeah. And the palm you bring
ferns.
in?
Yes, and the bird, is this bird of paradise? I
Yeah.
forget. Yeah, I take
Yeah.
that comes inside too.
And then these guys, the elephant ears, they die back. Do you have to mulch over those?
I dig them up and
Oh, you dig
bring
those
them
up
into
also?
the garage, yeah.
And then you said, what is the story that you do in the winter with this?
I just put kind of like a fence with the chicken wire around it,
Yeah.
and then fill it with leaves to kind of
Insulate?
Insulate,
Yeah.
yeah, and that works really well. I've never had a problem doing that.
Yeah, because you shouldn't be able to grow these, but if you're insulating it during the winter months, obviously,
I mean,
it's
you
very
cut it-
happy.
You
Yeah.
cut it all
It's
the way
dead
back.
back,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
completely dead. After the first frost, the leaves are like black. It's very unattractive.
This,
little bench.
your little bench that I
this
love.
bench. They call it a kissing bench.
Is that what it's called? Is a kissing
Yes.
bench? I thought it was a
Kissing-
conversation bench, but a kissing bench. That is so perfect.
You know, to be proper.
To be proper.
Keep your hands to yourself.
That makes
but
sense.
you can
But you can kiss. That's so funny. And you found this at a salvage yard.
Yes,
You've actually found some really cool pieces that are in your house also that you found from from salvage
well, when
yards.
I saw this, I knew I had to have
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you have to have this. It's so sweet. I love it. And then your citrus,
Oh, my lemon tree.
your
yep.
lemon tree, and you've got all this fruit on it too. That is so exciting.
Bunch of.
And a lot more coming. And this you guys bring in. Is this one that you have to bring upstairs?
No, this one we put in front of the.
Oh, the front where the
window.
piano is?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the front
Yeah.
window. Yeah.
I love that. And then you've got, these are plants here that you dug out of the landscape
Because I wanted to put trees in the.
because you want to put trees.
Back.
Because you lined the property with trees just for
Yes.
instant privacy
Right.
along this. The trees are how old?
Well, we put them in about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Instant.
Yeah, and I know they're too close together, and I know they'll get bigger. But right now, I don't
Who
care.
cares?
I just
Who
don't.
cares?
I want
The instant privacy is
If
so
I have
worth
to
it.
chop something down later, I will.
We'll chop it down later.
I'll worry
Are-
about that.
And then this is the last of the cut flower garden
Yeah.
and the other arch that matches the other one.
Yes.
I love that.
And I plant these here because we get tons of butterflies.
Yeah.
And I sit on the couch here, and when I look out the window,
That's
I can
instantly what you
all
see.
the butterflies.
I love that so much.
That's why they're here.
Oh, well, thank you so much for letting us come invade
Oh, you're
your
welcome.
entire property, front and back, and learn about all these new plants that you're cultivating, the sweet potato vine. It was so much fun. thank you again for letting us come in and
thank you
invade
for
your
coming.
space.
I'm happy to have you.
All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
I got so much inspiration from your garden.
That's very
I
kind.
got so much inspiration.
You're very
So if you're local, we will make sure that we link your website so people
great.
can
Thank
do
you.
the cut flowers in the springtime.
Yep.
And your nursery is coming too.
Right.
Which
I'm not
is so
sure
exciting.
how that's all going to happen, but
We're in the trial stages.
yes, that's right.
All right, you guys, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.